Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope you've had a good week of trading. Tomorrow's going to be a short day, and then we're going to have a Christmas holiday for Friday, so we'll be, tomorrow's half a day, and that'll be the end of the week. So I thought I'd jump on here tonight, and we're going to talk about a trade I made with NVAX last couple of days. Turned out real well, so I wanted to kind of share that with you. Take a look at our portfolio and look at what our stocks have done this week so far, and just kind of talk about our game plan towards the end of the year and game plan for the future. But let's go ahead and jump over to our portfolio tonight. Take a look at that and see where we ended up today. All right, so here's our portfolio. As you can see, did have a couple of red ones here, a couple of green ones here. As you can see, NVAX was a big winner today. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Tilray's ticking up a little bit. That merger news has kind of settled down a little bit. It's just kind of holding steady there. Nothing major going on with it. Last 5 days, let's just take a quick look. You can see kind of settled out here now. It's starting to tick back up a little bit. So that's what we want to see. I want to see some green on this one. It's got a long ways to go before we get back to anywhere. The volume's normal. Looks like normal volume too. So now we just got to see how that merger goes, and it looks like it's going to close based off of something I read tonight. It's going to close second quarter of 21. So got a little ways to go before that closes out. So XSPA down to almost 3% today. It's been pretty flat here lately. I'll take a look at the 5-day chart on it. You had this drop here, and then it's been pretty flat since the drop there. So that's one of those we're playing for a pop. Still not got the pop that we wanted yet. That let's go back and look at that. I believe this, yeah, that pop there that we had the other day did have some good news come out on it, and then before the day was over, it talked about that offering, shelf offering, which that's just where they're issuing more stock. So before the day was over with, they killed any kind of pop they had there because they diluted their shares by issuing more stock. But you do that sometimes to raise money, and that's probably what they did. Next thing coming, with this thing being $1.38, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see some announcements about a reverse split. That's what happens to you on these sometime when they're that low. NKLA, not a good day for it, down 10%. Actually, look at the volume, it's pretty high, but they lost another one of their contracts with Republic Services. That was 2,500 garbage trucks they were supposed to build for them. So that's a big deal. And this thing just continues to get beat up. We're down to 15. Again, we looked at it earlier for year to date the other night, and we saw it had started out around $10. So it's still up 50% for the year, but it sure has gotten beat up from these highs. Good Lord, look at that, $79. So yeah, we're a long ways from there, but I didn't buy that high. We did actually make a really good trade on that one earlier this year. Got in and out of it pretty good, but now we're kind of stuck in it. So that happens to you. HTBX, another one of those NVAX type stocks, COVID stocks. Not quite NVAX. It's $5, but it's lower volume. I don't like this under a million shares, but this is the one that did the reverse split the other day. I think it was 7-1. But it's out of that danger zone of being delisted of any kind of danger there. Nothing really going on with it. Here's the one we need to talk about. NVAX, excellent day today. Closed near the high. So let's talk about that, what we did the last few days, or last couple of days actually. So yesterday we watched this thing drop, and it got down to that, I think the first place I bought, it is right in here at the 116.50. So I thought that might be a good little spot to get in. You see that it has been support in some areas, but and it held up for a little while. So I bought there at 116.50, watched it drop. All of a sudden it dropped another $3 down to 113.50, and I bought again, and then it got down to 110.50, another $3. So I bought it again. So I bought in both IRAs about three times on that day. This was yesterday. I bought three times, and then I turned around and bought two times in my cash account. So, and then we watched it today. It did pop back up before the day was over with on Tuesday, so we felt pretty good about what we had done, and I felt pretty good about NVAX. I felt like this was a bottom it was hitting, so I felt pretty good. Of course, when the market opened today, it did drop a little bit, and then it started moving. And I watched it move, and I said, well, I could have got out here and made some pretty decent money because I was in at 113.50, 113.50, and it was up to there. And I said, well, I'm gonna see if it does anything else. And then, of course, it pulled back a little bit, but usually, later in the day, like I said, if you look at that time right there, that's 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern. That's when the big boys usually go to lunch. So I feel like they don't control it as much, and then it so has a tendency to be able to take off. And so it did. And I was happened to be driving in the car at the time, and I said, well, I'm just going to wait and see where it is when I stop and get gas. And it looked like it was still running. So met a friend of mine at lunch, and we sat there and watched this thing at lunchtime. And it just kept going up and up and up. So I just had to sell. And I did sell one account. I sold at 124.83. The other account I sold at 125.33. Both of those I was in at 113.50. So that was a pretty good little chunk of money there for 2 days. So we took that. That was a gain of 9.98% on one IRA, and then a gain of 10.42% on the other IRA in 1 day. So you could have took any of those little pops there, and you'd had a decent return. Buddy, he sold his, and I think he made 2 or 3% in a day. And he was a little disappointed he sold early, but 3% in a day, that's like a CD that you can get at the bank that takes all year. So you can't really complain about that. That's a good sale either way you look at it. So that's what we did. And then the cash account, I wasn't going to sell, but it just kept going up, so I sold it at 127.31, and I was in at a little bit higher on that one. I was in at 114.66, I think, total with the two lots I bought. So ended up making 11.03% in the cash account in 1 day. So very good trade on NVAX. Got me one more trade out of it for the year's over with. That has been a really good one this year. We like that one a lot, as you can tell if you watch my videos. But that's been a real good one. The biggest, it's probably it's the biggest money winner I have for the year, but it is not the biggest percentage gain as far as the trade goes. Actually, believe it or not, the biggest trade percentage-wise was NKLA, the trade I made earlier this year on that as far as percentage-wise. But as far as dollar-wise, NVAX definitely got the all of them beat for this year. So we've traded a lot. It's been very good to us, and we've had a lot of money in it at times. Just because I've watched that one for so long, and I know a good bit about what's going on with their tests. So felt real comfortable with it. Having I talked several videos about being too heavy on that one. Definitely was too heavy even for my comfort level, and I was glad I made those trades just a while back. But this one today, we didn't have near the number of shares. We played it a little safe towards the end of the year, but it was a good little game. We appreciate that at the end of the year. If you check out the volume on it, you got a little bit of high volume there on NVAX. If you'll notice, the volume picks up and towards the bottom here, and then it just kind of kept going up all day. So I like what I saw there. I like the volume. I like the way it moved. I like the way it recovered from yesterday's dip. It just looked like it put a bottom in. As you can see, the bottoms are higher. Every bottom is higher here. So that's a good sign. And every high is higher. So higher lows and higher highs, that's always a good sign. And you're back up to this level here, and that's what I was talking to my buddy when we were eating. I said, I feel like it might get to 130 before it hits the wall, and that's what. If you'll take a look at where it went to today, it went to 130, right at 130, and hit that wall. So now the question is it going to pull back from 130 all the way back down to here? Let me show you why I was thinking that. Look at that here. Look at that level. That level there is, that's the 130, 132 level. It has hit it, like 1, 2, 3, 4 times now. And every time it's hit it, it's had a really good pullback. Look at this one. It went down 109 here. It pulled back to 117, 115 there. It pulled back to 111 there. Okay? So watch that level. If it pulls back, it could pull back as far as these numbers here. I got a little impatient yesterday, and just because of how quick it fell 3 times in a row, I just had to keep adding to it. But that's look at that recovery in that one day. So that was a nice trade. It may stay up here in this area for a little while, but watch it. If no news comes out, I'm gonna bet it does pull back to some degree. That 116, 117 seems to be a level where you can start nibbling. I was going to wait to 107, but I got a little impatient. Glad I did because it didn't make it that low. But that's a good level. 117, 116, and that 114 level definitely was a good place to get in this go round. You get in at 116.50, you think you got a good level, goes down $3 more within minutes, and then $3 more from there within minutes. So, you get a little worried there, but sometimes when you just got confidence that this ain't gonna turn, you may want to start adding, even if it's a little high. Again, like I always say, you cannot pick these highs and you cannot pick the lows, and so you just got to get a good feeling for when might be a good trade. And what made me really think that was a good trade is it had pulled back so bad on that day, and I watched it when it kept pulling back, and then I was watching the volume, and the volume was picking up as it was going lower, which tells me almost that they're just taking out stops, and they're scooping those shares up, because when you see those large volumes, it's not your regular trader. So it made me think that the big boys are playing. Once they're in the game, it can do a whole lot of things. And so don't ask me who they are. I don't know who they are, but they're bigger than me. So that's why I call them the big boys. But they can control these shares. They've got enough shares to control the price movement. And it's just something I've seen over the years. So I just felt comfortable, and I felt like we were hitting the bottom there. And the way it recovered at the end of the day, too, it kind of bounced off that bottom, and it kind of went up from there, which made me feel real good about what was going to possibly happen today. Now, if you'd looked at the pre-market, you were down $2 or $3 in the pre-market, but then in the market opened, it recovered that $2 or $3 in the red real quick, and I felt like this is going to be a good day because the market was up. And I've noticed too that NVAX has been kind of tracing that market, so that's all good, and that's what we like to see. We like to see that quick, easy money. So we jumped on it, and it was a good trade. It'd be a good one to close the year out on, but you never know. Never know. XOM did come up today. We definitely need that one to keep going up. We'll take a look at oil here in a little while. I bet you oil was up. But you see here, it was up pretty good. Did pull back a little bit towards the end of the day. But volume's not very high at all. Kind of almost half volume. So not really excited about that one. Look at the 5-day chart on it. It's kind of trading in this range now. Pulled off these highs. I wished it would have stayed up there, but not too far from there. All right, we got a ways to go on that one still. It looks like X. We are still holding a little bit of X in my cash account, and it hasn't done real well lately. It actually went up pretty good today, it looked like, and then it pulled back. I wasn't watching it real close, but it did look like it got a little pop there, and then it pulled back. So it's pretty steady around here. Let's take a look at a 6 month chart on that thing. See if there's a good area to get back in. Yeah, maybe in this range here. This this $14 level, maybe down here. If you can get in, get lucky around $11, maybe that might be a good place to add back in. I'm not going to do anything for 30 days after that sale I made because I don't want it to be a wash sale. I'm just going to get that out of the way. And ACB had a pretty decent day, 4%. Good to see that. That one was doing real well for a while, coming back, and see here, it had actually shot up right there, and then came back, but it shot right back up, and then it sold off here lately. So, had been a little disappointed in that one. No volume on that one. I thought it was moving pretty good. That's why I started cost averaging it, and now it's just seemed to run out of gas again. So that's kind of where we're at. A lot of green though. We had a lot of green today. Didn't all of them close green, but not a bad day. And tomorrow's going to be a short day, so we're going to watch that as far as tomorrow goes. A lot of times on those short days, it's pretty good little day. So you want to check that out. We were talking about that today. My buddy was asking me about end of year, and end of years usually seems pretty good to me. It's from October through December. Usually seems like the market usually pulls up a little bit. Again, another friend of mine I talked to, he says he heard that anytime there's a presidential election, the year the new president comes in, the market usually averages 8% up. So let's hope it does an 8% gain at least next year. That'd be awesome. We'd take that. We've done way more than that this year, which is good for us. But an 8% year was probably be pretty good for us as well. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on in the market tonight. Let's cut back over there to that. And let's see here. Let me refresh that. That was from a while ago. So, yeah, nothing's changed very much, it looks like. Let's see. So we got green. At least we got a little green. Again, we're going to have a short day tomorrow, so that may or may not hold up. And let's take a look at our Asia stock. The green going on there, 0.5% in Nikkei. Pretty flat. Shanghai is not too bad there, and then Hong Kong. All right, let's take a look at what happened in the market today. You can see here we did have a green day on the Dow. It's still up above that 30K, and S&P's up there at 3690, and the Nasdaq did pull back a little bit today. Let's see what our oil did. Oil rises on U.S. inventory draw. Brexit deal hopes. Okay, so oil did pull up a little bit today. And so we're back up to the 48 and the 51 level. That's good. So we like that. We like to see oil sitting there at those levels there. And if you can get up even more, that'd be even better. So tomorrow again, short day. So we'll probably be sitting on the sideline all day. We probably won't do anything tomorrow. We'll close out this week. Hopefully in the green. We're doing pretty good this week so far. Maybe have a green week, stop the bleeding. We've had about 3 in a row that were down, so want that portfolio to stay at a good level before it closes out the year. And other than that, we're just going to be waiting for the new year, see what that brings. We're going to kind of do a recap video. I'm going to kind of talk about my top fives and those type of things of the trades that I made, and kind of give you an idea of which 5 stocks were the best percentage-wise as well as money gain-wise. So we'll do that one video after the first of the year. And then just talk about the previous year a little bit, how that went, and what our game plan will be for the next year, okay? More of the same. We may just do another strategy video just as a reminder as well to kind of keep our mind focused on our strategies, whatever yours may be. But we'll throw mine out there again, and we'll talk about that, and you can either add to it or take from it or whatever you want to do. But it's definitely works for me over the years, so I don't mind sharing it, and nothing magical about it. It's just kind of common sense stuff. That's the way that's the way trading is. If you just if you can, just keep your wits about you, you'll usually do pretty good. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you have a great Christmas, a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll be watching those football games for college. And of course, I'm a big Alabama fan, so Roll Tide, and we'll watch, see if we can get us another one of those national championships and play Notre Dame November 1st, and we'll see how that goes. Last time we played them, me and my buddy actually went to that championship game, and it was a lovely day. So, y'all have a great, great Christmas, and we'll talk to you later on. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to like the videos. If you like the videos, appreciate it. Appreciate the comments as well. And again, have a great Christmas. Thanks. Bye.